I'm sorry I didn't understand, so I stepped before you called me. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Mr. E. Ahmed, Mr. Sayyid Haidar Ali Shihab Tanji, Mr. C.K. Zubair, Mr. Sadiq Ali, Muslim Youth League President. Dear friends, thank you all for this wonderful reception, and I wanted to, at the outset, to offer you greetings from Tunisia. So I'm delighted to be here tonight, and I would like to thank you, my big brother, Mr. Ahmed, Minister Ahmed, for this opportunity to address you. Let me first give you a brief overview about my country, its history, and the latest developments. As Kerala has the oldest mosque outside the Arab Peninsula, which was built, I understand, in 627, Tunisia was the first country in North Africa to have its mosque back in 670. And ever since, Tunisia became part of the Muslim world. Moderate Islam, or Islam, has been its basic feature. And as you know, Islam is about moderation. And this is what we commonly know as wasatiyya, which is middle ground. So no extreme to the right, no extreme to the left. Tunisia is a small country, but it contributed to the world and to the Islamic world in particular. And many scholars coming from all over the region, many scholars, religious scholars, and qadis, judges, scientists, philosophers, sociologists, historians like Ibn Khaldun. I know that not so many know that Ibn Khaldun originally is from Tunisia. Ibn Khaldun is, by the way, the father of modern sociology. So he was born in Tunis around 1330. So that's almost the 8th century ago. So mainstream Islam was prevalent, and the Zitouna University was and is still among the oldest in the world. And many scholars came from all over the region and beyond, accomplished their studies in this university. And by the way, this university has been teaching the moderate form of Islam. So it's no coincidence that back in the 30s, a new movement of reformists starts evolving in Tunisia, introducing new avant-gardist reforms which made the modern Tunisia. So the elections, I will skip from 1930 to 2011. So the elections held in October 2011 resulted in a very interesting coalition. I think it's first in the world that you'll have a moderate Islamist party teaming up with two secular parties. One is centrist and one is leftist. And this troika, what is commonly called now as a troika, is still governing Tunisia to prepare a new constitution and to prepare to choose the political system, the new political system, whether we will stay with a presidential or a parliamentary system, and to hold elections by the end of 2013. So another chaired by Sheikh Rashid Ghannouchi is teamed up with two secular parties. And by the way, Ghannouchi is also a graduate of Zitouna University. Furthermore, while debating the first article of the new constitution, the issue of putting Sharia was discussed at length, and ultimately the Ennahda chose to keep Sharia out of the constitution and showed its intent to preserve the secular nature of the state. So Ennahda representatives at the Constituent Assembly entrusted with writing the new constitution argued that there is no intention to impose on the people any new lifestyle, and committed to preserve equal rights for every citizen, including women. In truth, this is in line with Tunisian thinking that Islam is a religion of moderation and of easiness. Dinu yusran and not dinu usran, which means usran means hardship. Indeed, women throughout Islam enjoyed special status. Don't forget that the first wife of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was a trader. So what happened 2 years ago, and what is now commonly known as the Arab Spring, is only the result of these policies that put education and development of human resources as a priority. And it's not a coincidence that the Arab Spring started in Tunisia. The country was the first in the Arab world to abolish slavery back in 1846, to enact a constitution, which is, by the way, the second in 1861, because the first one was under the Carthaginian Empire. There has been so many writings about the compatibility of Islam and democracy, because I was asked to speak about the link between Islam and democracy, with some saying it's possible, and others who think ill of Islam and Muslims put forward theses that it's not possible. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Wa amrukum shura bainakum." And this is the epitome of democracy. That means your affairs are subject to consultations amongst you. Furthermore, the Quran says, discuss whenever there is some difficulty arises. God was instructing the Prophet Muhammad to discuss issues in the best manner. وَجَادِلُوهُمْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ. So this is to illustrate that Islam encourages debates and exchange of views and opinions on matters relating to society. Of course, there are prerequisites for success of democracy in Islamic societies. Education, inclusive growth and development, and a strong civil society are important factors for the success of any democracy. Indeed, poverty and lack or absence of literacy can be the breeding ground for extremism, which is the biggest danger for democracy. So this explains why Tunisia has been investing a big proportion of its budget on education and development of human resources. Since 1956, close to 50% of Tunisian budget was allocated to this purpose. Civil society, associations, NGOs are equally important to educate and create a space where citizens can be active in issues that benefit the community. And in Tunisia, we have more than 8,000 such organizations. And this is partly why Arab Spring started in Tunisia. Another area is equal rights for everybody. And by the way, here I can feel some similarity. I know that the state of Kerala allocates a big budget to education because education is on its top of priorities. And Tunisia is still, if we take this year's budget, more than 25% is allocated only for education, not to talk about healthcare and the other components of development of human resources. So Islam also promotes democratic values such as justice, good governance, and rejects discrimination. It also promotes labor as a value by encouraging ijtihad, which in its double sense. Ijtihad being interpreting the Quran with an open mind, but also working hard in all walks of life, as well as self-denial by working for the well-being of the community. In closing, let me say that there are so many models till now. We keep hearing about the Turkish model, the Indonesian, the Malaysian, but now we have a new model in progress, which is taking shape in Tunisia. But as you all know, democracy is work in progress. And it's not, as some labeled it, an instant coffee. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes an effort, and it takes time to take root. But what I can tell you, what happened in Tunisia is irreversible, because the ingredients for its success are there. So let's hope that we will succeed, inshallah. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.